This is the actual fact of the US X-44 MANTA stealth fighter that once scared Russia. The Lockheed Martin X-44 MANTA, multi-axis no-tail aircraft, was an American conceptual aircraft design by Lockheed Martin that has been studied by NASA and the US Air Force. It was intended to test the feasibility of full yaw, pitch and roll authority without tailplanes, horizontal or vertical. Attitude control relies purely on 3D thrust vectoring. The aircraft design was derived from the F-22 Raptor and featured a stretched delta wing without tail surfaces. X-44 MANTA, an aircraft that looks essentially like an F-22 Raptor that had its tail cut off. 1. Design and development. The X-44 was designed by Lockheed Martin to demonstrate the feasibility of an aircraft controlled by vectored thrust alone. The X-44 design had a reduced radar signature due to lack of tail and vertical stabilizers, and was made more efficient by eliminating the tail and rudder surfaces, and instead using thrust vectors to provide yaw, pitch, and roll control. The X-44 MANTA design was based on the F-22, except without a tail and incorporating a full delta wing. The X-44 MANTA would have a greater fuel capacity than the F-22 due to its larger delta wing design. The MANTA was designed to have reduced mechanical complexity, increased fuel efficiency, and greater agility. The X-44 MANTA combined the control and propulsion systems using thrust vectoring. 2. Origin of the X-44 MANTA. It was back in the 1980s that the Air Force launched its Advanced Tactical Fighter (ATF) program, which was to determine the service's next frontline combat fighter. That led to a competition between the Lockheed Martin YF-22 and the Northrop Grumman YF-23. The former won out and was introduced as the F-22 Raptor in December 2005, becoming the world's very first fifth-generation fighter aircraft. However, even as the YF-22 was in development, the heavily modified variant was devised. As noted, it was essentially a base F-22 Raptor without the tailplanes. This was to be seen as a technology demonstrator to test the validity of controlling a combat fighter without traditional tailplanes. In addition, its design was meant to demonstrate the feasibility of an aircraft controlled by vectored thrust alone. It offered a number of other advantages, namely that the X-44 design had a reduced radar signature due to the lack of tail and vertical stabilizers, while it was further made more efficient by eliminating the tail and rudder surfaces. It was to have greater fuel capacity than the F-22 due to its larger wing design and was to have reduced mechanical complexity. It would have had a much larger weapons payload as well. As it had no tail, the pilot would have had to rely on its thrust vectors to provide yaw, pitch, and roll control. However, this could have made for an extremely agile aircraft, yet it may have been a more difficult plane to fly, which means only the most experienced Air Force pilots might have gotten a chance to sit at the controls. The MANTA program was short-lived, however, even as both NASA and the Air Force saw promise with the radical design. Yet by 2000, the program was ended before even a single prototype was constructed. So considering its design, its purpose was to be the best stealth aircraft till the date, considering the period of starting of this project and the way progress has been made. The only official announcement was yearly flights would start around 2007. Probably the purpose of X-44 MANTA was not specific or for a particular operation, but to build an advanced aircraft like any other projects. It's still on the paper and current status is unknown. Maybe Lockheed Martin should dust off those old designs and give the MANTA another chance. The X-44 was also intended to be highly maneuverable, with the ability to fly at supersonic speeds and operate at high altitudes. Ultimately, the X-44 never progressed beyond the concept stage, but it served as a testbed for many advanced technologies that were later incorporated into other aircraft. All content on the Angie Norman channel is provided for educational purposes. Thumbnails and titles are for illustration only. Thus, today's information, I hope it is useful and becomes knowledge for all of you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you again.